How's it going, guys? So in this video I'm going to show you how to transform a basic looking enclosure and make it look way more natural as well as more enriching for your reptile using real plants. So in the process of making a more appealing enclosure for your reptiles, it makes it better for you and for them because it's more things for them to interact with, and who doesn't like a nice enclosure that looks really good and natural. So I've been doing this sort of thing for quite a long time now. It's just a simple process of adding leaf litter into your enclosure in a way that's aesthetically pleasing to you and a way in which the animals can interact with it. So all you're going to need to do for this is go out somewhere where you're allowed to and go and get some leaves. This here is some acacia. Gum leaves also work great, they're my preferred option. You can see in the back here I just put in a massive bit of gum in there to cover over the rock hide, and lizards have been hiding in it, checking it out already. Absolutely loving it. So that's what you want to do. You want to go out and get this stuff from a safe location where you're allowed to, and you can choose either dead stuff or green stuff, whatever sort of look you want to go for. And if you're worried about parasites, things like that, you can put it in a bag in the freezer and freeze it for a couple of days, or hose it down and wash it in a tub to make sure you get everything off it. Hit it with some F10 maybe. Otherwise, you can just chuck it right in. So let's see what we can do with the enclosures inside. So as you can see, it even adds a naturalistic element to a not so naturalistic looking enclosure like these hutches. Just brings some nature into them, gives the animals something to look at, something to do. And in the summer I'm going to be using these to block out a lot of the sun too, so very effective, works great. It's just an all-round win. I even find it useful out here in these sunny enclosures. I've got my western blue tongues out here at the moment, as you see down there. And it's just good to give them some cover, make them feel a bit more secure when they're out here in a bit more of an open sort of environment. And just once again, it's extra enrichment for them. Yeah, it just transforms any enclosure. So here we're going to show you how you can transform a basic looking indoor enclosure here. This is my alpine blotch blue tongue enclosure. My little guys from growing up, they're so cute. As you can see, it's pretty bare in here. I had some other fake plants and stuff in here, but I want to change it, make it a bit better. Let's see what we can do. We've got quite a few here. Let's see what we can do. So you want to obviously keep these things away from the light. You don't want any fire hazards, so you want to make sure the reptiles can't push them near the light or anything like that. So I'm going to put one back here. That's another tip. You can crush it underneath a rock so that it'll stay in place. The reptiles can't really move it. Put that there. And put one up in this corner if you can over there. This one's nice and bushy where they can get under and feel secure, so I'll put that up here somewhere. Just have it into the soil a bit. That'll be pretty cool, I think. And this one, I think I'll try and put it in one of these holes here. Yeah, I'm liking that. As you can see already, how much better does it look? You can see the blotchy down right there. Just looks right at home in there. And now start smelling these, and you know, that'll stimulate their olfactory senses, or their sense of smell rather. And it's just another colour for them. There's no green in the enclosure otherwise. Now they've got green they can look at. As well as security, they can hide in it and all that sort of stuff. Just looks more natural because it is natural. And it's what they'd naturally encounter in the wild. And now they can interact with it. And it just looks so much better. So now those guys are done, we'll move on to the western blue tongues enclosure. As you can see, I've already got some natural plants in here at the back here. These grasses I got. And they're basically just a big long grass that I snipped the bottom of it, wrapped it in a cable tie in the bottom to hold it all together, and just have them standing up in there. So I won't add as much greenery in there to keep more of the desert theme where they come from. But I've got one here, and they're not in here at the moment, they're out sunning like I showed you before. So they've got a treat to come back to. Let's see where we can put this. Don't be afraid to use some sort of cool anchor point. Like I think I can see a hole in this hollow log here, so we'll see if we can use that. Also stops the lizards from totally trampling and destroying your placement. See, look at that. Make sure you're keeping it away from the light. But that's really cool. Look at that. It brightens everything up. Lizards can go in under there, feel secure. Check it out. I'm loving it. And so here of course is my adult Boyd's forest dragon enclosure. I've already put in a couple of the leaves in here already. Also got my dripper system going from my last video. Make sure you check that out. Yeah, I got some up here, there. Animals can interact with it. I'm gonna just chuck a couple more in. Got some here. See where we can put this. So in these rainforest enclosures, because they're already green, it doesn't make it pop as much as it would in the other enclosures, but it still adds a incredible sort of depth to the enclosure and of course a more natural feel. Maybe in the future, we'll see if we can put this up here. Maybe in the future, I'll see if I can just replace all my fake plants with natural plants and just keep cycling them through as they die off and whatnot. And of course, try and get some live plants going. I'm waiting on some new lights to come. Some more Arcadia stuff. So, till then, this is the sort of thing we're doing, and look at that, it just looks great. Like I said, the animals can interact with it. I could set up my dripper system to hit on the leaves and can drink off it. That's as natural as it gets, really. And yeah, just looks great. So another incredible thing about doing this for your reptiles is the plants, especially when you're using eucalyptus and those sort of things. When you have the plants in there, they release a smell, like a really nice, fresh, rainforesty smell. So every time you open up the enclosure, you get hit with a nice waft of just beautiful smell, rather than smell of like poop or something like that. And even if there is that smell, it's very decreased by just doing this. And that's also really enriching for the animals, and it's nice to know that they're in an enclosure that has that nice, fresh, outdoors sort of smell in there. Not just a stagnant sort of gross smell. So there's lots of benefits to doing this. Looks great, smells great. There's also another benefit if you add leaf litter down onto your substrate. If you're using a bioactive substrate, then that replenishes the sort of fuel for the cleaning organisms to hide in, as well as break down and consume in the absence of the animal feces and whatnot. So yeah, using these natural items is just going to enhance everything. Using this natural vegetation for young animals can also be really useful. Here's my young female Boyd's forest dragon, and at this age they can be a bit more shy, a bit more flighty, so having that extra cover in there for them to hide in and feel secure can do a lot for their stress levels. Keep that stress down and keep them healthier. So not only does it keep it interesting for the animals, it also keeps it interesting for you. So as leaves and stuff start to decay, or the animals run over it and start destroying it all a bit, you can take them out and you can add in some fresh ones and design it differently. It just keeps you interacting with the animals. Stops you from getting bored and sort of stagnating. I had that problem a lot back in the day, where I just had a basic setup for the animals and I was like, well, that's all I need to do. Then you stop interacting with them as much, and it really sort of kills your passion for it. In attempting to enrich their lives and give them mental stimulation, you also stimulate your own mind and become really creative. It's almost like art. So they can give you a lot if you give a lot to them. So with that, I'll leave you with a bit of a montage of these guys checking out their new decorations, and you just get to watch their little brains work. So I'll leave you a little montage of that. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.